flows such as plastic remains behind and those get cleaned off. The goal is to keep that from entering the receiving streams. But
do you have any funny stories about the wastewater plant?
the funniest story I can think of is an inspector came out and we had at that time Clorox bottles, 1 gallon jugs that we would use to sample. And she had lowered it down this deep well to collect the sample. And the rope let go, came untied. And so the water in that well went out this pipe, which was exactly the same size as that Clorox bottle. So that Clorox bottle stopped up the pipe. Water rose. And I think there was probably enough head pressure to push it on through, but the operator of that wastewater plant was pretty unhappy with Harris County at that time.
If the people are never falls, who monitors?
Wastewater plant operators are required to monitor their discharges. Depending on the size of the plant, they might sample it every day, or for a smaller plant, once a week. Harris County and the state comes out and does periodic inspections as well to make sure. Let me address one other thing that might surprise all of you. I said there's 600 plants operating day and night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's an immense volume of water. It might surprise you to learn that you can tell that there would be less water in our bayous if it weren't for this discharge from wastewater treatment plants. A lot less. A whole lot less. Buffalo Bayou, during dry weather, 70% of the flow in Buffalo Bayou is wastewater plant effluent. Same with Sims Bayou, same with Brace Bayou. And White Oak Bayou would be completely dry during dry weather were it not for wastewater plants.
Chlorine is one of the most toxic substances to any living organism. How does you disinfected the water with chlorine and you're putting it into the bayou?
What a good point.
Chlorine out.
What a good point. Any wastewater plant over 1 million gallons a day has to dechlorinate. So they chlorinate to kill, disinfect, and then they have to take that chlorine out using another substance. Those plants less than 1 million gallons a day discharge into the streams, and that does have an impact on our fishes and the aquatic community.
Mr. Martin, the picture that you displayed and some of the technology that you're telling, this is non-existent in many developing countries. So we're grateful that we are in high countries with all the new technology. What happens to many countries, many cities, when the raw sewage is virtually exposed in the municipal areas? How hazardous it is for the health?
Well, we need to be, exercise a lot of gratitude for the infrastructure that we take for granted. We don't even think about that. And in developing countries, we'll see sewage running down the street in the roadside ditches and kids playing in there. And there we see outbreaks of cholera happen with frequency. Child mortality is pretty high in those areas, so we need to be happy with that. We're going to wrap things up, and I hope you know now and appreciate more the wastewater plants that play such an important role in the ecology of our life and in our society.
Give your comments for Trent. Hopefully all the questions you were afraid to ask, you asked during his presentation. And thank you to all of you for helping Trent with his goal of fielding questions actually during the speech. I have a tremendous amount of gratitude for our next speaker. Max Rasmina really stepped up and volunteered to give a speech for